Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we have a 3v3 massive battle for you, and it's going to be the Beastmen versus the Elves. And you can see I have brought Malagor, the Dark Omen here, who's getting all angry at the Wood Elves for existing. And we'll be seeing this in battle. And we have brought three very themed armies here. And you can see the Wood Elf players arranged over there. To my right is Indypride, and he has brought a Morgr-themed army. You can see lots of Chaos Spawn behind him, Cygors, Manticores, Centaurs in the back, and then Goreherd with shields up front. You can see I have a very similar army, Goreherds up front, Centaurs on the sides, and since I am I'm Malagor the Dark Omen, I decided I really wanted to bring every type of Bray Shaman, and so I didn't bring anybody. I didn't bring any spells on them except for their passives. So just to try and make it somewhat feasible and still be somewhat useful in the battle. So these guys are just kind of like chariots and encourage auras that I brought to be more thematic for Malagor. You can see I do have a line of Minotaurs with shields behind them, some Centaurs with throwing axes over here, Ungor Raiders, and you can see my Bray Shaman of Death and my Bray Shaman of Beasts. And so especially the Bray Shaman of Shadows and the Wild, their effects are going to be across all three armies. So you can see all three armies are going to get that 6% increase, and all three armies are going to get the, the vigor from whenever I cast my spells as Malagor. So yeah, definitely terrifying. And good in a 3v3. So wow, you see this guy? Look at this. His melee attack incurs Discouraged, minus 12 leadership. And then his Something Wicked This Way Comes, hits everybody and does minus 4 leadership. Then you spawn a Cygor behind them. And you have flanking, minus 16 leadership here, minus whatever is for flanking, and and plus terror, and things are just going to rout off the field. So definitely a viable lord. You can see I do have some harpies in the back. You can see Doombull over here, very Minotaur-centered army. You can see Doomball all angry over here. And he does have 5 units of Minotaurs, so tons of armor-piercing damage here. Tons of anti-large with these guys in the back, and then he has shielded ones up front. And again, Goreherd with shields, spearmen, and a Cygor. Why we're on pause and not slow-mo here is our opponents did do something slightly strange. You can see a huge main line of Dryads here, all vetted up to a lot. Behind them is Durthu, and 2 more tree men, and a forest dragon. So forest dragons are terrifying in this mod. Look at that health pool. 10,348 on that guy, so just a ton of hit points. So that's one army. Over here, kind of a more traditional army. Whole line of Glade Guard, Eternal Guard, Dryads, Treekin, Tree Man, Orion, Branch Wraith with healing, and another Tree Man. You can see he does have 2 units of Hawk Riders over here. Over here, a War Dancer themed army. So these guys are super cool. A main line of Eternal Guard, Spellslinger of Life, 4 Hawk Riders, a Glade Lord up on a Forest Dragon, and a Spellslinger of Shadows up on a Forest Dragon. So we're going to be seeing a lot of spells, and this battle is going to get started real quick here. So I'm just going to start issuing. You can see a rock from my Cygor came in there. I'm going to start issuing attack orders right away. I need to make sure I get some charges out. And I don't know who will win this fight, but he has a lot more Dryads than I have Goreherd. So I'm definitely going to be outnumbered a little bit. You can see I am going to be bringing my Harpies straight in here, trying to lay down the law on these Hawk Riders. And you can see I'm going to have to charge in with my cavalry, just to try and even up the odds. You can see Indypride is bringing in some stuff to help me, and you can see these Hawk Riders coming in. Oh man, let's see this rock. Is it going to hit? Oh, come on. Oh yeah, it's just going to squash just a ton of elves. And this is a 1,300 gold unit, so definitely doing some paying for themselves there. So you can see Malagor in here being all angry as well with his Goreherd allies, you know, putting an axe to good use, cutting some wood. Minotaurs are going to be in here, and you know, I was not expecting this, so this is going to be a mess. This is just going to be a straight up fight, and I'm trying to get rid of these guys before their leadership can come in. You can see these trees coming in. You can see my chariots running around, getting rear charges, and really, you know, not a lot of good places. Oh, you can see just missed Dirthu there. And I'm going to be casting Vile Tide and stuff whenever I can. Bray Scream, trying to make this work. Just does not do anything, man. Just didn't even do any damage to these dryads. So still not too great of a spell. You can see Treekin are getting in here against these Minotaurs, and they probably are, you know, they have armor-piercing damage now, so they're probably not going to be doing the best against these Minotaurs. But they should definitely hold for a long time. You can see Ungor Raiders opening fire on this main blob here. Pit of Shades coming down. Definitely would have been good. I think better for me to bring that. But I was really going for those map-wide procs with the Mortar. You can see here I am focusing Dirthu with my throwing axes, and my Cygor has come into action, but he's going to use this Manticore really well and stop my guys from firing here. You can see I do have to run away from Dirthu. Sorry for the lag there. And the Zombie Dragon is going to get into this unit, so definitely not going too well for me. You can see me dropping more Vile Tides. I really need to pull these guys out and just start kiting. But I'm going to keep Morgar around here just for the Encouragara. You can see my Bray Shamans over here, just helping out. You can see over here, this battle is going very well for Indypride. His Feral Manticores are chasing off these guys. These Hawk Riders really need to get into melee. This Force Dragon will wreck these Manticores. You can see over here these War Dancers, you know, doing okay, but here comes the huge cavalry force, and they're going to be getting some nice rear charges in the back here. You can see these Dryads just, I feel like, slowly winning this front line now that the giant troops have got engaged. I really didn't have enough to deal with these large targets. I was not expecting 4 trees. So definitely a little out of my element here. You can see another Bray Scream coming down, doing a little bit of damage. You can see my 2, really the only thing holding down this line is my 2 Bray Shamans. Over here, another Pit of Shades being dropped. Doom Bull, you can see taking a lot of damage from all this anti-large. But I like that, using him as bait here, so that they come in, they encircle him, and then you drop the Pit of Shades. Definitely a great move there. You can see these guys are doing good work against these tree men. I definitely should have brought the anti-large version, but I was definitely expecting a kiting build, so that's why I did bring those shields. You can see the Centaurs not doing too well against the Treekin. I do get nice rear charge from my allies. You can see Malagor just being safe over here in the corner, trying not to die. These guys throwing in, but this Manticore is just not going down. This Forest Dragon not taking any damage. You can see the Cygor just 1v1ing Dirthu. He will not like this fight at all. But luckily I do have some Minotaurs around there. And at this point I'm still, I believe, waiting for one of my units to die. One of my units will not die. I have a full stack of 20. And I forgot that you can't drop a Cygor until you have spun your army. So that's what I've been waiting for. And I think now that has happened. One of my units shattered maybe. And I'm going to be coming over here trying to drop a Cygor onto maybe Dirthu. You can see, oh man, this Cygor is just getting focused down by this constant Hawk Rider fire. But this side has been very cleanly mopped up, and now Indypride is going to be finishing up these guys and then coming to help us. And you can see I'm blobbing around these large targets. There's really the only thing he has left. You can see my Ungor Raiders here doing some good damage, but they are running out of ammo. I believe they only have 1 armor-piercing ranged attack damage. And you can see I'm using all my abilities elsewhere. I think I'm dropping Vile Tides and stuff over on this side. Just trying to help out because really none of my abilities, I have all AoE abilities to use against archers, essentially was what I was thinking. From behind the line, kind of target my enemy archers that were back behind the line. But he didn't have any, so it definitely wasn't working the best. You can see my Cygor is fleeing, Dirthu laying down the law. My Brave Shaman of Shadows in there trying to do work. And these guys still luckily throwing axes and stuff. There's my summoned Cygor. and I just put him directly on Dirthu. Thank God Indypride has all these troops left. He's going to be coming in, basically saving me. Who knows what would happen in a long fight, but you can see my Ungor Raiders have run out of ammo. You can see this tree man chasing this chariot around. He still has this feral manticore. Luckily, I still have some centaurs with throwing axes. They're going to be putting down a little bit of the damage that I can really do here. Luckily, a lot of armor-piercing damage coming in here from these centaurs. My Bray Shamans of Death are, just being meat shields, and they do armor-piercing damage. Who knows how much damage they'd actually do to a single target. Definitely not what their ideal use is. But you can see Dirthu is routing here. And over here, the elves are, I think, slowly winning out on this side. But you can see more centaurs from Indypride coming out. And there's, it's still definitely a fight. See the side core getting crushed. Bray Shaman of Shadows dueling some Hawk Riders. Took out that Hawk right there. It was so cool. But he's going to rout, I think. There's too much here. Over here, I do finish off Dirthu, and we're just going to fast forward here because really it's just mopping up some large targets at this point. A lot of Hawk Riders still alive. But, they're not so good by themselves. And you can see these Hawk Riders are all going to dive on poor Malagor. So I swarm him in the middle, trying to save him. But they just come down here. They like to be the only bird on the field, and they're going to take him out. In the tabletop, his wings can actually help him fly, which I think is super cool. But these guys are all going to die. These Hawk Riders don't really have a chance here in the middle. With the balance of power in our favor, you can see there's still some more out there. But yeah. This Manticore is actually going to come down as well, I believe. And he's actually going to... You can see a lot of my units terror routing here from that Manticore. But at this point, it's just a mop-up. I do have these Bray Shamans in here for the Encourage Aura. And you can see over here, Orion still alive, Tree Men still alive. Really just heroes left. Orion is unbreakable, so, we're going to have to kill him if we want to win. So you can see these Chaos Spawn just, marauding. They are out of control, though, so they can't be controlled at this point. And it's kind of like that Lizardmen, so they'll just, break off in random directions, chasing things down. So definitely, wow, Orion just dropping a ton of bombardments. Definitely think Orion is one of my favorite lords to use as the Wood Elves. It might be more competitive to use kind of the Glade Lady with the net, but Orion just has a special place in my heart. It's 70 move speed. He's just a beast. We're all just going to converge here. We're going to end that replay. So you can see here, my Bray Shamans all did pretty well. 82, 70, 43. My Minotaur's not doing too well, but a lot of that, these guys were fighting just large targets. So you can see my Ungor Raiders gained 3 XP chevrons, and they only have 1 kill. So they put a lot of damage down on those large targets. You can see these Centaurs both going up 2 chevrons. So definitely, army did better than I would have thought from initial look at the Crazy Mofo's army. Definitely think it would have helped to have some healing on these guys. But yeah, who knows. Dirthu, definitely. This is a very themed army. You can see Orion getting 330 kills. But yeah, definitely Marcus Skine took on Sleepy Narwhal, and they basically just annihilated each other. You can see Bray Shaman of Shadows dropping a lot of those guys. Yeah, and you can see these War Dancers. Some of them just not doing very well. Hawk Riders probably not paying for themselves. Definitely like to see them used against Armored Cab, and the Beastmen really don't have any of that. So definitely a niche pick there with the Hawk Riders. Yeah, you can see Indypride getting a ton of kills on these Chaos Spawn. I wonder what this guy was doing. Killed 0. Probably fought a large target or something. But yeah, definitely great game to Indypride and Marcus Skine and to Crazy Mofo, Sleepy Narwhals, and Hector. Definitely probably reoccurring names you're going to be seeing on the channel. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and that's that.